El tema es amando las 24 horas que yo tengo hoy en este día. The theme today is loving my 24 hours this day. And of course, developing a plan so that we love each of our 24 hours. Hector, how many hours do you have today?
24.
Oh, that's what I have. What do you have? Le pregunté, hermano Héctor, Héctor, ¿cuántas horas tú tienes hoy? Me dijo, 24. Yo también tengo 24. ¿Cuántos tienes tú? Y tú. Y tú. Everybody has 24 hours. It's what I would call an equalizer. Es como un equalizadora, ¿ok? Todos somos iguales en muchas cosas en la vida. There are a lot of things that make us all equal in life. Of course, there are things that make us different. But there are many things that make us equal. And each one of us is a fantastic person. Hay muchas cosas en el mundo que nos hacen iguales. Claro, hay cosas que en el mundo que no somos igualitos, pero en muchas cosas tenemos en común con otras personas. Y cada persona en este mundo es fantástica, sin duda. Bueno, ok. Mira, yo desarrollé una hoja que tiene el día dividido por 15 minutos. Ok, 24 horas divididos en 15 minutos. De 12 a.m. hasta 12 a.m. Si tú quieres esta página, escríbeme mi email y yo les voy a enviar. I have divided each day, or a 24-hour day segment, into 15-minute segments, so that after this program today, if you want to change some things, you can print it out because I will email it to you. And I want you to write down my email. Okay? Mi email es F D A L B larga R E C H T. Otra vez. F D A L B R E C H T. Son mis iniciales y mi apellido. Y después arroba Lancaster punto K12 punto PA punto US. Lancaster punto K12 punto PA punto US. Here's my email, folks. Write it down, and I will email you a page divided into 15 minutes, because after today, you just might want to change some things. Not that I think you should put in your 24 hours, but things that you want to put in your 24 hours. So, it's my two initials and then my last name, and then the school district address. So it's FDALBRECT Again, FDALBRECT. And then the @ and then Lancaster.K12.PA.US. It's FD Albrecht at Lancaster.K12.PA.US. And I would love to send you the page that I have of 24 hours divided up into 15 minutes. And by the By the way, thank you, Miguel Torres, for bringing me the Higbee book I taught at Martin Luther King Elementary School. And Brother Miguel Torres brought in, he listens to this station on a regular basis, he brought in a book from Higbee's from 1969. That's when I was still in grade school. And it's all the things they used to wear when they were in elementary school back at Higbee Elementary. Now it's Martin Luther King. Muchas gracias, Miguel Torres, por traerme el libro, de las fotos, el álbum, de los niños. Miguel escucha esta emisora cuando yo estoy enseñando cada martes. Y muchas gracias, Miguel, por el álbum. Creo que voy a regalarlo a la escuela Martin Luther King. Ok. Bueno. Una cosa bella en la vida es que nadie puede controlar el tiempo del otro. Hay 1,000,000 de actividades que podemos hacer. Más de 1,000,000. Ojalá que estemos haciendo actividades que nos dan vida. No al contrario. La buena noticia que si todavía estamos respirando, entonces hay esperanza que podemos cambiar actividades en nuestra rutina diaria. A beautiful thing about life, folks, is that no one can control the time of another. And there are a million, should I say a zillion, and more than a zillion activities that a person can do. And I'm hoping that each of us today are doing what we really want to do and what we really love, and not the contrary of that and doing things that we don't really want to do. The great news is that if we are still breathing, we can make changes in our daily routine. Nuestros hijos nos están mirando y nos están copiando. Necesitamos prestar mucha atención a esto. Our children are observing us and copying us. It's very important that we pay attention to that. Podemos elegir madrugar y hacer ejercicio antes de ir al trabajo. Si queremos, tenemos 24 horas. Cada persona puede comenzar su día como la persona elige. Y si hace ejercicio antes de ir a trabajar, uno tiene más energía por el día. If you want to, you can get up early. My mother used to say, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Mi mamá antes dijo, una persona que madruga en el día y ir a la cama temprano es una persona sana, rico y sabio. If you get up early before you come into work, you have more energy during the whole day. Podemos organizar el tiempo para permitir que comemos juntos, sin radio ni televisor, por la mañana, si uno quiere, y cenar juntos también. El día tiene 24 horas. Podemos leer a nuestros hijos 20 minutos por lo menos cada día, si queremos. Y hacemos esto porque queremos que los hijos tengan un futuro brillante, leyendo y disfrutando la lectura. We can have breakfast if we want to, together. Remember, we have 24 hours a day. We can read to our children every day. if we put it into the schedule. Reading to our children when they're young will help them love literature, want to read themselves, and have a brilliant future. We can have a family meeting every day if we want to, and have a time to communicate without electronics, listening to each person in the family talk about how they feel. And if that happens every day, then you have children who are adults who want to communicate their feelings also. Uno puede en sus 24 horas organizarse para que la familia tenga una reunión cada día entre las 24 horas, sin electrónicos prendidos, para escuchar el corazón de los niños, de los adultos, para que la familia comunica muy bien y los niños lleguen a ser adultos que también quieren comunicarse. Cada persona en el mundo tiene el mismo 24 horas. Nadie forzado a hacer una cosa. Aún en la cárcel y el ejército uno tiene opciones, aunque son menos que una persona civil. Pero desde hoy en adelante, nunca vamos a decir otra vez, no tenía tiempo para hacer tal cosa. El hecho real es, decidí no hacerlo, porque opté por hacer otra cosa. Cada uno de nosotros debemos aceptar la responsabilidad por hacer o no hacer cada acción en nuestras vidas. Somos capaces, como seres humanos, de lograr y cumplir mucho, pero muchas cosas. Each person has 24 hours in his or her day. Nobody forces another person to do something. Sometimes we try, but nobody forces. Even in prison and in the military, a person has options. They might be fewer options than a civil person has, but they still have options. I want to encourage everyone who's listening to this station today to never say again, I didn't have time to do a certain thing. Why? Because you did have time. I did have time. We need to say, I opted to do something else. I decided to do something else. Accept responsibility for what we do and not blame somebody else. I had a talk with a young lady this morning who was upset because she was suspended for not submitting to authority last week in school when she was told to go to the tardy line. She just kind of blew off the adult, and she said, well, I was in school on time. Well, she was in the building, but she wasn't in the class on time. And she was trying to blame, like, the school for having bad rules. Esta mañana hablé con una señorita que estaba suspendida por un tiempo, un día, en la escuela porque ella no sujetó a las reglas de la escuela. Ella estaba en la escuela, pero no estaba en su clase a tiempo, entonces echó la culpa en la escuela por tener reglas que ella no estaba de acuerdo con las reglas. Mira, cada institución tiene sus reglas. Y uno puede llegar temprano, a tiempo, o tarde, a cualquier cita. Y no debe echar la culpa en otras personas, ni la institución, ni el trabajo. Cuando nuestra hija mayor estaba en su primer grado, estaba tocando piano por su segundo año. Y la maestra le había animado a practicar su piano por 40 minutos cada día. Tenía 7 años. Gently comenzó a hacer esto, pero ella no quería practicar 40 minutos seguidos. Entonces ella decidió practicar 20 minutos por la mañana antes de la escuela. Creo que estaba en segundo grado. Y 20 minutos por la tarde. Entonces ella puso su alarma para las 7, porque yo no estuve en la escuela y mi esposa estaba durmiendo. Puso su alarma para 7 y un timer para tener 10 minutos para vestirse. Y estaba en el piano a las 7:10. Otro timer de 7:10 a 7:30. When our oldest daughter, Gently, was 7, she was playing piano, and her teacher asked her to practice 40 minutes a day. And I was already working. I went to work at 6:30 in the morning. My wife was still sleeping, and Gently didn't want to practice 40 minutes at night. She said, why don't I divide it up into 2? I said, that's a great idea, sweetheart. So she practiced 20 minutes in the morning before she went to school, and then 20 minutes when she got home. So she organized it. She set an alarm clock, got her up at 7. Then she noticed she was taking too long to get dressed, so she said, I got to fix this. She set a timer that would have set for 10 minutes so that she would dress in 10 minutes and be down at the piano at 7:10, and then another timer from 7:10 to 7:30. And she got her 20 minutes in. And she was as happy as a lark. Then in the afternoon, she played for another 20 minutes. I'm telling you, folks, we can teach our children to do whatever they want to in their 24 hours. Mira, mis personas fantásticas que me están escuchando, podemos enseñar a los hijos a organizar su día en cualquier forma que queremos. Y marchando adelante van a ser adultos que saben cómo organizar su día. And then we'll have children who become young adults knowing how to organize their day. Stephen Covey, el autor fantástico del libro 7 hábitos de las familias altamente eficaces, habla de un hábito que dice, comienza con el fin en la mente. Stephen Covey, who when he was living, wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families, talks about one of the habits being starting with the end in mind. Es decir, si usted quiere que sus niños tengan una autodisciplina por tocar música, jugar deportes, aprender cómo leer, aprender las tablas de sumar y la tabla de multiplicación, saber cómo cocinar, saber cómo limpiar el baño, el comedor, es nosotros, los padres y madres o guardianes, que podemos organizar su día para poder aprovechar de cada minuto al máximo. Cuando los niños son grandes y ya tienen un gran poder de autodisciplina, la vida marcha fantásticamente adelante. Este tipo de autodisciplina automáticamente se realizó cuando uno vivía en el campo, en la finca, por ejemplo. Los abuelos, antepasados. Y las cosas no eran tan fáciles, pero había una rutina cada día. Y los padres enseñaron a sus hijos a aprovechar de cada día. Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. So if I want children who, when they are in high school and in college and later on, self-disciplined and with good habits, I help them when they're young organize their time so that they live each day to the fullest. That means I will organize. I will help them organize their time to learn a musical instrument, to play a sport, to read, to learn the addition facts, the multiplication tables by the time they're in 3rd or 4th grade, all the way up to 13. How to cook, how to clean the bathroom each week, how to sweep the floor. If we help them organize their days in the things that need to be done and do it with love and joy, they will fantastically be moving forward and upward. This type of self-discipline is amazing in how you reap benefits later on. Yo tengo un trabajo muy demandante, pero desde pequeñas las hijas tuvieron un desayuno caliente cada mañana, de primaria, intermediana y escuela secundaria. Organicé mi día para levantarme 2 horas y media antes de ir a trabajar. Correr, flexiones, esta mañana 57 porque tengo esta edad. Y después hacer un desayuno. Tiempo para hacer eso. ¿Por qué? Porque yo quiero que mis niñas vean cómo organizar su día. Since my girls were young and until they went off to college, I wanted to eat a nice breakfast with them before they went off to school. So I would get up 2.5 hours before I needed to leave for school. We didn't want a rushed breakfast, so we organized. Sometimes they had to get up at 5:30 when they had to leave for school at 6:30. When they were in middle school and high school, we left at 6:45. So we were sitting down for breakfast at 6:15. I would get up at 4:30 and make a wonderful hot breakfast, and they would help decide to set the agenda for the breakfasts for the week. Why? Because I wanted a nice, relaxing time before the girls would go off to school. Now, if you can't do that for a breakfast in the morning because you need to leave for work too soon, just make sure you do it for the evening, and maybe mom can do it in the mornings. Si tú no puedes desayunar con sus hijos porque estás trabajando esta hora, entonces la mamá puede organizar o el papá puede cocinar antes de ir a trabajar. Tenemos 24 horas. Uno divida los 24 horas como uno quiere. We can do whatever we want to. If you leave for work too early, you could get up 30 minutes or an hour earlier if you wanted to and have the hot breakfast ready to go. The scrambled eggs made, the French toast, the pancakes, the baked oatmeal. We had like 11 different breakfasts that they could choose, and we'd organize. It's a good way to help them to organize their situation too. What I'm saying is we have 24 hours. Muchas personas llegan a la casa, prenden el televisor y ven programas con valores que no son tan buenos. Many times we get accustomed to doing what is kind of easy, coming home and just turning the TV on and watching programs that do not have life-giving values. It's easy to come home and just turn on the electronics, but in the long run, we're not reaping the benefits that we really want to. Sandra Felton y Mark Sims escriben un libro que se llama Organizando su Día, técnicas de cómo manejar su tiempo para que funcione para usted. Este libro trata el tema de organizar la vida para que cada persona hace prioridades, que la verdad significa algo importante para uno mismo. Para muchas personas esto implica profundizar en sus relaciones familiares y llevar a cabo proyectos en el trabajo con amor y alegría. Sandra Felton and Marcia Sims wrote a book called Organizing Your Day, Techniques of How to Manage Your Time so that your day functions for you. And this book talks about organizing your life so that each person looks at their priorities and makes the day work for them. It's beautiful. Mi gente querida, Google, organizando mi tiempo, los 24 horas. Cosas que yo hago. Cuando quiere aprender algo, ahora va a poner computadora y busca. My dear folks, if you're not quite sure how to, what some ideas are, Google organizing my 24 hours each day and play a little around with that, and all kinds of wonderful things will come out. I can't tell you what to do. Yo no les puedo decir que haga eso o eso. Think what you want to do. Think about how you want to spend your time, how you want to show your love. I want to thank you for listening, but please teach your children to love each day, because if you do that, they will think that we have a beautiful world. And remember, to start the day off good, we never go to bed angry the night before. Remember, please don't let the sun go down while you are still angry. Have yourselves a wonderful week.